Hey, part 3, let's get into it.
So the next guy to talk about is Zalril the Poison Mind. The boss will use Tenderizing Strikes, which is a stacking tank debuff that will cause Kilruck, the Wind Reaver's attacks, to deal 10% increased damage. Zalril and Kilruck cannot be tanked by the Sam Raider, as mentioned before. Caustic Blood is a stacking tank debuff that deals decent nature damage every second. When the debuff reaches 10 stacks, Bloody Explosion will happen. This deals a large amount of raid-wide damage. Stacks will not be applied to players under active mitigation abilities. This will either require a tank switch, or you can just use your mitigation abilities and time it so that you drop the stack, or at the very least postpone the application of stacks. Toxic Ejection is an annoying ability that gives each raider a color, red, blue, or yellow. Zalril will regularly target each color group through an ability called Choose Catalyst. If he chooses the red and you have the red color, it will deal a high amount of damage to players within 10 yards. You will need to spread out away from other players. If you have the blue color, it will deal a large amount of damage divided amongst the players in a 10-yard radius. The damage can only be split amongst 2 people, so this will require everyone to run to another person to split the hit. Players who have the yellow color create a poison void zone on the ground which deals high damage every second. These will need to be placed away from the raid. Clicking the boss's corpse will give vast apothecarial knowledge. This is a buff for healers that allows them to use volatile poultice. This lasts for 10 seconds and has a 30-second cooldown. When used, all healing done will cause a target to store up the heals. When the target takes damage, the heals are released and the target is healed for an equal amount for the healing that was done over the 10 seconds. This is, I guess, really only useful if you know the target's about to get fucked up. I would say Zalril is probably higher on the priority. Deal with him quickly if he's up. Next is Corvin the Prime. That's a sweet name, by the way. Corvin will use Encase in Amber. This is placed on a Paragon if they reach 50% health or lower. This causes the target to become immune. The DPS will need to switch focus to the actual Amber around the boss and kill it really fucking quickly. If the Amber is not killed in 10 seconds, then the Paragon will be healed back to full health. Shield Bash knocks the target down, stunning them for 6 seconds. This is then followed by Vicious Assault. Vicious Assault deals high damage to the targets in front of him. This ability will throw bleed on targets hit, stacking each time they are hit. For this reason, tanks need to face Corvin away from the raid, and the other tank should taunt Corvin when the other tank is stunned. Clicking on the corpse of this boss will grant Master of Amber. This will allow tanks to encase a friendly raid member in Amber for 5 seconds, making them immune to damage. Use this to save raiders who are standing in shit and dying. I would say Corvin's definitely high on the priority. Get rid of him quickly. Alright, so a summed up reminder for the tanks: switch when Caustic Blood is stacked. Pay attention to who you are tanking and avoid tanking 2 bosses that play off each other. This includes Skier and Raquel, and then Kilruck and Zalril. And tank Corvin away from the raid. Healers, there are a bunch of abilities that will be doing a lot of damage to the tank, so pay attention to them. Players who become Scorpions will be taking high damage and need your focus. If Eok is up, don't allow people to get below 25% health. DPS need to simply pay attention and figure out who the priority is. This unfortunately varies depending on who is alive, but if you have an individual that I mentioned before marking who to kill, that's not a problem. DPS those bosses encased in Amber and stand in the way of aim, which is casted by Hisik. Everyone is going to have to remember to pay attention to the colors assigned by Zalril. Run away if red, stack on blue, stand to the outside if yellow. Run away from other people you get linked to, and don't forget about the stacking buff that is given to the surviving Paragons. And as always, don't stand on shit on the ground. In my opinion, this will be one of the most challenging of all the encounters in the Siege of Orgrimmar, minus Garrosh maybe. Having so many different combinations and possibilities and things that will kill people makes patience a serious virtue. Good luck, adventurer.